Everybody, I'm Mark with Trophy Trail Outdoors. This is my son Olen. Guys, the biggest thing in the industry that is keeping you from killing a massive buck, if that's what you're out for, or even a number of does for meat hunters, is the fact that we're all listening to the big name hunters and the conservation department. Okay, the conservation department, they're stuck on CWD. That's all they're stuck on. They do not care how many deer we harvest, especially in the state of Missouri, because they know that at the end of the season, they're going to come in and they're going to slaughter them. Okay. That's just what their plan is. That's all they care about, is coming in and decimating the deer herd. Okay. It's gone. So if you're trying to get a big buck, you can't listen to them. They're not going to tell you the things that you need to do to shoot a massive buck. And then you got these big name hunters out there. They don't care about you either. All they want you to do is buy the new bow, buy the camo, buy any of the stuff that they are promoting, just for the simple fact that if you go out and you buy the stuff that they're promoting, they get a kickback. Okay. And not to mention, if they get that kickback, they get to go hunting wherever they want to go. Okay. So that is the biggest thing in the hunting industry right now, is you do not want to listen to the guys that just swear by the new bows or what the conservation has to say. All right. So the number one thing you do want to do is go back to the basics. Okay. Look at the equipment that you have. Look at the food source. Look at the property that you have. Walk the property. Okay. I have people all the time telling me, oh, Mark, well, I buy scent, but I can't afford to get trees, and I can't afford, the plants and everything else and all that stuff. And you know what I tell them? You don't want to get the scents then. Get the trees, get the plants, okay? Because when you get that stuff, you're not setting yourself up this year probably for hunting, but you're setting yourself up for the future. You're setting yourself up for little guys like this, okay? He's so excited to go hunting, okay? If I go and buy scent, it's not going to do anything for us if we don't have deer on the property.
And I'm 5.
And he's 5. We don't do anything that is going to, let me rephrase it. We want to do everything that is going to keep the deer on the property, okay? If you do not have a food source, if you do not have a water source or anything like that, the deer population probably on your property is not going to be very good, okay? It's just not. Okay, so whenever you put out deer scent is something that draws the deer to you. I couldn't tell you how many times you go to your deer stand, or I've went to my deer stand or heard people tell stories about, oh, I was at my deer stand and I watched this massive buck go out. He was too far. I couldn't shoot him with my bow, or I just couldn't get the shot on him. Okay, well, that's what scent does. It takes that buck that is 200-300 yards away, and he comes in because he smells that. He's interested in what you have to offer. Okay. The problem is you're not going to get that buck that is that close if you don't have a food source or a water source. Okay. You got to have the right stuff on your property. So like I said, avoid anything that is, it's basically just like anything. Okay. Instant gratification in the hunting industry, it's just not going to happen. Okay. You do have, I guess, Uncle Bob that goes out and sits next to a tree in, regular house clothes that just came out of, the house smoking a cigarette and all the other different things that you hear people say, and he killed the biggest buck of his life. Okay. Everybody gets lucky from time to time. But what I'm getting at is, if you want to be, lucky, every year or every couple of years to get a buck, you got to do the right thing. Okay. You got to plant bushes. You got to plant the trees. You got to put in food plots. They don't care about anything but food and water and the doe that's in heat, okay? And the doe that's in heat is what you're actually trying to keep on your property, okay? Where I'm at right now, I guarantee we have 20 or 30 does that run between me and these two other farms next to me. I see them every night, okay? I don't see very many bucks, but I can promise you, whenever rut hits, we start seeing bucks like crazy, okay? And that's why these does are here, because they need a water source. We have a 3-acre lake, okay? They get hungry, and that's what we have. We have food, we have trees, we have apple trees, pear trees, we have chestnuts. We got all this stuff. The browse line that we have on our property is, obviously, the browse line's about the same on everybody's property, but the thing is how many bushes, how much stuff do you have at browse line level, okay? That's what you need to be looking at. You don't look at the big acorn trees that have the leaves way up in the trees and all that stuff. You got to look at the browse line and look at all of the stuff they have to eat from about here down. All right? All right, guys, I hope you got a lot out of this video. If you haven't yet, subscribe. You know, it really helps us out, really, you know, builds our channel, and we're trying to get as much information out there as we possibly can. If we, you know, gave you something valuable today, please tell us in the comments. If there's a video you want us to make, we appreciate you telling us. We'll get on it. All right, guys.